Hare Krishna. सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धगोपालनन्दनाः पार्थो वत्सासुदेवोक्ता दुग्धं गीतान्तं महत्. Okay. May I request Atigaram to please help with the overview of chapter 12?
Yes, Raji. So, chapter 12 overview. First, first verse to seventh verse, worship of the personal form. It is in impersonal Brahman. And 8 to 12,
What is
the
first
progress
section?
is 1 to 7.
Yeah,
First
what
verse
is
to
that
7.
section?
Worship of
What
the
is that
personal
section?
form.
What?
Worship of
Worship
personal
of personal
form.
form. Okay.
To
What
impersonal
is it?
Brahman.
Worship of personal form to impersonal Brahman.
Not 2, I think. I
What
said
is
it
that?
wrong.
What is that? You know that symbol mathematically?
Greater than. Worship of personal form greater than impersonal form.
Yes. Or superior. Okay.
Superior.
Yeah. If all of you want to write superior or greater than, if you're feeling that sign is so troublesome, I'm not sure. That's what I felt. Okay. It is superior. That's we saw, right? Yesterday you were there in the class.
Yes, Raji. I must have missed it.
What is yes? Yes means what? Not there partially.
I might have missed it, Raji.
You heard this yesterday? Bhakti is superior. I mean, the personal bhakti to the personal form of the Lord is superior to the impersonal form of the Lord.
Yes, Raji. Yes, Raji.
Okay.
Yeah. From 8 to 12, the progressive stages of bhakti. And from 13 to 20, the qualities that endear one to Krishna.
So currently, where are we now?
Yesterday, bro, we completed verse 9. 9.
Anybody would like to say with respect to what did we see in the verse 8 and verse 9 and then the progressive path? Yeah, Anand.
So, Prabhupada mentioned in 9th verse purport that there were two processes of bhakti mentioned. The first was
There
like
were or there are still they are there or
there are.
someday.
No, there are. Sorry, there are. The first was like Lord wanted complete like mind to be engaged, and that was like we can say Raganuga kind of bhakti. And second was
Kind of Raganuga
no,
kind of.
sorry, Raganuga bhakti, and second was Vaidi bhakti, the path which has rules and regulation. That was in 9th verse that we saw.
Okay. What is that in the 8th verse that we saw? Two things I have said there. What was those two things which defines it as yes, Chandra Bhushan Tiwari.
Guruji, in 8th verse, there are two things. First is fixing mind and then fixing intelligence.
Yeah, fix in mind. I'm not sure yesterday's video. I'm not sure whether I said, see, when mind is fixed, it is called as Smaranatmika. If I said Maranatmika, I'm not sure because mind. So please, if that is what I said, please correct it because I'm not sure. Yesterday night, I was just thinking that whether I said that. So if it is like the absorption of the mind, that is called as Smaranatmika. And the intelligence, what do you call, utilizing one's intelligence in service for contemplation, that is manan. That's why it is called as mananatmika. So that has to be very clear. Okay, basically, and it is very natural for a pure devotee. It is natural at a stage of bhava and higher. One who has reached these stages. On a higher stage, it is very, very natural for them. Absorption of the mind, absorption of the intelligence, it's very natural. But now Krishna says in the 9th verse, what does he say? If not possible, because to control the mind and intelligence is very tough. at least endeavor to do that. And that's what he uses the word. What is that? He uses the word. Does he say, what is the word he uses there in the verse number 9? Anyone? Okay, Sumit Prabhu.
Ikshaptum.
Ikshaptum is there, but what is that? What is that?
Means
Ichha is for something else. That's why that was this.
Chatu,
There's
please.
one more word.
Acha.
If you define, want to call it as Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, or want to call it as Sadhana Bhakti. So what is that word? Yes, Mandar Prabhu.
Abhyas Yoga.
Abhyasa Yoga. Means, yes, those who are naturally attracted, the mind gets absorbed in Krishna very naturally. And that intelligence also contemplates about wonderful pastimes or all that things. It's very natural for them. So that means the bhakti by the internal senses is very easy for them. So, but on the sadhana level, to engage the internal senses of our mind, and it is very tough. So that's why we endeavor to bring the mind back. The mind has a natural tendency to go here and there, but again we endeavor to get back. That's that thing we can clearly see in our japa. The endeavor to bring the mind back and focus on Krishna. It's like abhyas. Abhyas is the endeavor to put our intention, put our attention. You see, in services, I did that, but it was not. So that endeavor part, that is that the sadhana or the abhyasa yogena. That's what it says. So what does Krishna is saying? Okay, if it is what do you call 8th verse is not possible for you, at least try to do 9th. Now he'll say, if 9th is not possible, at least do 10th. You see, what is that 10th? And you will be amazed to see 10th. So yesterday we saw that. I'll just share the screen. You want to see?
Yes, Prabhu.
Here it says, Abhyasepi asamarthosi matkarma paramo bhava madartham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. Yeah, Sumit Prabhu.
If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
So in the previous, we saw that abhyas. Then Sumit Prabhu was using that word ichha. Ichha means why was that word ichha used for in abhyas yoga? Ichha for what?
Because to please the Lord, to serve Him.
Ichha, that in sadhana bhakti for abhyasa, it should be for whom? For desire, and so one should desire it. That's why he says this verse. See, mam ichhaptu. So in that abhyasa yogina, because if you just do abhyasa, but for whom? For whose? Ichha. Mam ichhaptu. For desire for me, to attain me. That is what it is. Now Krishna is saying, okay, even that is not possible. Now he's saying that abhyase pi asamarthosi. Even if you are not able to ready to do that, then mat karma paramo bhava. Then at least work for me. See, now you are able to working for Krishna is actually lower. What in terms you will see that? Why? At least madartham api karmani, because if you act for me, madartham means for purpose of me, madartham for me. Even eventually kurvan siddhim, you will achieve perfection or you will continue. What does it mean? Slowly you will get to the verses of 9 and 8. That is it meaning. And you see how does it come into the form. Just read it.
One who is not able to, one who is not able even practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga under the guidance of a spiritual master can still be drawn to the perfectional stage by working for the Supreme Lord. How to do this work has already been explained in the 55th verse of the 11th chapter.
Yeah, because 55th verse, what we saw in 55th verse. Anybody remembers the word that was used there? The different characteristics of bhakti. What is that? 55th verse of previous chapter. What was the word used regarding mat?
Mat karma karma.
Mat karma karma. That was the word used. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that. That is explained. Means one of that at least work for me. Okay.
One should be sympathetic to the propagation of Krishna consciousness. There are many devotees who are engaged in the propagation of Krishna consciousness and they required help. So even if one cannot directly practice the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga, he can try to help such work. Even every endeavor requires land, capital, organization, and labor. Just as in business, one requires a place to stay, some capital to use, some labor, and some organization to expand. So the same is required in the service of Krishna.
Okay. So now we may wonder, what is this? So devotees are also working for Krishna only, no? Yeah. What is the difference between these people and the what you call those one? Abhyasa yoga means he's more serious, he's dedicated, he's ready to accept a spiritual master, ready to take initiation, ready to follow four regulative principles. He's serious about it. There are people you find that उनको बोलो क्या कहते हैं, can you take, many people say serious commitment, आप सेवा बोलिए हम कर देंगे, मंदिर में मंदिर के लिए डोनेशन दे देंगे, मंदिर में और कुछ दाल चावल कमी है हम वो भी सेवा के लिए हमारे. See, these all category, those who comes when they are very favorable, they are like, they're slowly their heart is going to the pattern. Commitment, they will say कमिटमेंट नहीं हो पाएगा इतना, हर दिन 16 माला करना, सुबह उठना, जप करना. So if you are understanding, Abhyas Yoga itself is a very serious commitment if one is following. So what I'm speaking, that's why yesterday I said, what I'm speaking to all of you, we should be at least at 9th. There's no question of going down. Of course, if a devotee at Abhyas Prabhu, we also do all this now for work for Krishna, and that is okay. But he's doing, if you do, you see 10th, 9th, and 8th verse, that is excellent. It's not that we try to see this verse. Excellent, because devotee and pure devotee, he will, whatever is there, he will utilize in Krishna's service. A devotee in Abhyas, he is endeavoring to put slowly everything in Krishna's service. And whereas there are some other category, Krishna is giving hope for them, pulling that rope of his mercy a little down. Okay, even if you cannot follow. So that's why we should not think now, okay, Prabhu, now I got Krishna, I never knew the progressive path can be down also. So that one should not take. Progressive path, अच्छा, अभी पता चला मुझे कि progressive path नीचे भी जा सकता है. अरे बाबा, no, whom it is talking about? That is most important. It is talking about those people who cannot commit. But then there is no hope for such kind of category of people. No. Engage according to their word. They'll say they will work for Krishna. आपके लिए प्रसाद का थोड़ा सेवा कर देंगे और कभी कभी मंदिर आएंगे, और जब भी कुछ फेस्टिवल होगा तो बुलाइए, हम जरूर आएंगे, एक माला उस दिन कर देंगे चाहिए. Like, you see, these are not regular ones, but these are okay. हर महीने में से मैं अपने, there are people who give for अन्नदान, there are people who give for this thing. These are those categories, but not serious commitment. But still, Krishna is taking them in their boundary. At least. Why? Because you will get purified slowly. And then, means what? This is more of an external service. One has to understand. External engagement of the senses. Later two are this. That's why if you find in our sadhana bhakti, along with our external, we add that, Hare Baba, at the end of, till the end of your life, ultimately, where is your chintan? Means again, it goes to the internal senses. Where is my mind absorbed in? What does my intelligence think of? That's why. Because 8th verse you can see, Mananatmika and Smaranatmika. So that's how our endeavor, if you are just thinking, because on a physical level, Prabhu, our bodies will not be able to. How long you will be able to in company? How long will you be able to do? Over a period of time, what we have absorbed matters. So these people, over a period of time get regularly coming and all those things, and then getting to hear the glories of the Lord. They will come for some class, they may hear something. Slowly, they may take to that abhyas. And in general, we find that's what happens. People don't take to 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles on day one. Very rare we find somebody who's that. So Prabhupada is telling also, just like there is land, capital, organizations, things are required. And ISKCON is, Prabhupada, Mercy of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and previous acharyas, they have organized. Usually, previously the culture itself was very natural, but now it is in an organized way. The things has been propagated because that's how it helps people to take to the process very easily. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, you see the difference is, okay, please read through. The only difference is,
The only difference is that in materialism, one works for sense gratification. The same work, however, can be performed for the satisfaction of Krishna, and that is spiritual activity. If one has sufficient money, he can help in building an office or temple for propagating Krishna consciousness.
Prabhupada is contrasting, yeah.
Or he can help with publications. There are various fields of activities, and one should be interested in such activities. If one cannot sacrifice the results of his activities, the same person can still sacrifice some percentage to propagate Krishna consciousness.
See, this is what it is. अरे कुछ नहीं तो ठीक है, थोड़ा परसेंटेज अपना जो कुछ भी हार्ड एंड है थोड़ा दो, some percentage you, that's why we ask people, सब चीज भगवान ने दिया है आपके जीवन में, आपको इतना जनरली से people, कुछ तो दो सेवा. That is how. If that is the case, we ask for people percentage. That's what I was saying in previous classes. How much more ready a devotee, a pure devotee is in the service of the Lord. That's what it is. He will utilize everything in the service of the Lord. That is his thing. Okay, please go ahead.
This voluntary service to the cause of Krishna consciousness will help one to rise to a higher stage of love for God, whereupon one becomes perfect.
Means one becomes perfect, matlab, don't think that, okay, that means I work and give some percentage, some amount of money or some dhan and dakshina, I'll get. That is not the point. Slowly, eventually, he get his faith increases. Eventually he comes to the higher stages. So that's why this is poor. That's why what was the section we are reading? Progressive stages. So don't immediately jump into the conclusion that, okay, that means if I just do work, that is also sufficient, and give some percentage of my money, that is sufficient. No need to chant. That is not the intention. See the seriousity of the subject matter. That's all. So these are that means somebody is working for Krishna is also that, but that is more of an, what do you call, favorable thing, which slowly he becomes serious. But serious is the commitment of, yes, every day, under the guidance of spiritual master, ready to act. See, ready to accept, surrender to somebody in this world is a big thing. Surrender to Guru and ready to abide by the principles of scriptures, principles what has been laid down for our progress in Krishna. That's a serious commitment. So if you cannot do that, at least do something for the propagation of Krishna consciousness. That's what is Krishna. Again, if you cannot do that also, Krishna says, you cannot give to me also. No problem. At least do some sacrifice of your hard-earned money. कहीं तो दान दे के यूज करो, लोगों को खिलाओ, नॉट इन टेम्पल, बाहर लोगों को खिलाओ, या फिर कहीं गड्ढे खोद के थोड़ा पॉन्ड बनाओ, कुछ तो वेलफेयर एक्टिविटी को. Become at least detached from what you are. That is the lowest level Krishna says. ये नहीं तो at least इतना करो. Sometimes we feel दान is like दान पड़ेगा. This is the level Krishna is telling them. अथेतद् अपि असक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगम् आश्रितः सर्वकर्म फल त्यागम तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. ओके. आदित्य तपलवार.
Hare Krishna. Translation. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Yeah. See, if you are not able to, he's saying that even that means atheta tapya saptosi. It's the previous one, previous verse. Everything is linked one after another. If you cannot do that, kartun mad yogam ashrita, sarva karma phalatya. At least offer your what do you call it? Because in this world we find a person earns, and earn his immediate thought is I am, as soon as you see, the nature of money, nature of earning, nature of anything is what? The mentality of I am powerful. I have something to do. So let me utilize for my sense gratification. Natural thought comes. But if you start giving, that means what the nature is there. I am not the control of everything. I've been awarded, I've been given. So let me offer for others' welfare. I am indebted in this world. Nobody in this world can say that. Somebody may say, okay, no, 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 no. I have only studied, I have only worked. But what was the facility given? This country has made some college for you. The state has made some college, some education facility. Nobody can say, I mean, that's how you got education. No? You got job. No, bro, I worked hard. We have worked hard to get job. But there is somebody who's doing business. Somebody has made this and he's employing you. That's how you're getting job, right? If you did not start only business, where is the question of employment? So there's so much interdependency upon each other. We are dependent upon other living entities. We are dependent upon many things. So how can we be owner, or how can we claim that I'm the master of everything? No given point of, but the false ego makes it. So Krishna is saying that, okay, you don't want to give me, you don't want to, at least do this. You see in the purports, Prabhupada explains so beautifully this. Okay, even, okay, read this.
Roji, from where it may be, or
It may be. Yeah.
yes. Okay. It may be that one is unable even to sympathize with the activities of Krishna consciousness because of social, familial, or religious considerations, or because of some other impediments. If one attaches,
we find that there are people who come to Krishna because they have a status problem. Because जैसे यार इतना बड़ा आदमी, उसको बोलोगे मंदिर में झाड़ू मारो, झाड़ू हमारा स्टेटस से थोड़ा सा बहुत टफ जाएगा. Or somebody is taking to Krishna consciousness, he may be from some other background of other religion. They may feel, ये घर वाले क्या बोलेंगे? How can I take it? So many considerations come, religious considerations, family considerations, social considerations. अरे ये क्या कर रहे हो? ये क्या, ये अभी करने का समय. You find even in our own practice, when we took to Krishna consciousness, we find resistance from the family. ये क्या, ये हमारा नहीं है, हम लोग तो अपने देवी देवता को पूछते हैं, ये कहाँ से नया चालू किया? राम, I remember in my home, my mother and father saying, देखो राम कृष्ण तो दुनिया के लिए, सभी के लिए है, उसमें कहते हैं, but for us there is some particular demigod that we are supposed to worship. That we should not believe. अगर राम लक्ष्मण वो चलते रहता है, वो सबके लिए ही है, वो ज्यादा कुछ करते भी नहीं है, मगर ये बहुत डेंजरस है. So all this kind of difference, घर के देवी देवता अगर कुछ हुआ, so that thing is coming from all that, because we don't have scriptural knowledge, there is no scriptural, and all that thing considerations keeps on coming. And even proper disciples, you find they had tough time because some of them were coming from Christian background, some of them Jews background, Islam, and different backgrounds. So yeah, so then what happened? Because of that hesitation, a person may not be able to even take to the path of Krishna consciousness or even contribute on anything. And that's why Prabhupada is saying, you cannot even sympathize for the activism. Then what is supposed to do? You see, read it.
If one attaches himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be objection from family members or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated results of his activities to some good cause.
See, for one who has such a problem, it is advised. Now, it is for devotees. It is for devotees now advice. हाँ प्रभु, इतने दिनों से मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि if what you call my family members are creating problem, I should do the other thing only. No, no, no. This is for one who has such a problem. Means their faith level is also like that only. Their faith level is also like that only. They feel pressurized. They feel ठीक है नहीं करेंगे. तो उनके लिए कहा जा रहा है कि at least do some sacrifice of your activities to some good cause. What is that good cause? That is told in scriptures usually. Good cause means do some, yeah. Okay, read sir.
Such procedures are described in the Vedic rules. There are many descriptions of sacrifices and special functions for the full moon day, and there is a special work in which the result of one's previous actions may be applied.
Yeah,
Thus,
it is basically
one may
some sacrifices and all that thing, but this is what you read. Okay.
Thus, one may gradually become elevated to the state of knowledge. It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospital or some other social institution, he gives up hard-earned results of his activities. That is also recommended here because by the practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one okay.
Second line.
Okay. One activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually, and in that purified stage of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness. Of course, Krishna consciousness is not dependent on any other experience because Krishna consciousness itself can purify one's mind. But if there are impediments to accepting Krishna consciousness, one may try to give up the results of his actions. In that respect, social service, community service, national service, sacrifice for one's country, etc., may be accepted so that someday one may come to the stage of pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, that means what? You see, Prabhupada, Miss Krishna is giving the rope down that, okay, social service, at least do social service, community service, national service, sacrifice. When you are doing this sacrifice, one will understand one day, oh, what is the purpose behind all this sacrifice? And slowly, eventually one understands. So that's why one should not think that this is the cause of our one's bhakti. No, this is not. That's why Prabhupada is saying, make it clear. Bhakti, if you come in directly touch, it can purify and it can do. But somebody is of not level, then slowly actually he understands what you call when he is giving his results of his activities in the service of community, nation, and a sacrifice. At least that attitude is there, and slowly he understands, and he get to hear he gets some devotee. अरे आप ऑलरेडी इतने अच्छे सज्जन व्यक्ति हो, इतना सोशल सेवा करते हो, तो भगवान एक्चुअली सबके माता पिता भगवान है. तो जैसे आप देश के लिए क्यों कर रहे हो? क्योंकि देश आपको क्या कहते हैं, आपकी प्रोटेक्शन मींस इट इज प्रोटेक्टिंग यू, इट इज टेकिंग केयर, इट इज प्रोवाइडिंग यू फैसिलिटी. सो इमीडिएटली somebody else, so you are sacrificing for the nation because it is doing something for you. Like that, if you raise his consciousness, you think about how Lord is also providing us everything, then his consciousness slowly goes, oh right, then I have to sacrifice for him. So okay, I have to become more serious in his seva, just like I am becoming more serious in this country's seva. Oh, I can become more serious. So that's how his elevation goes. The lowest is what? At least get rid of that, propensity of thinking that everything belongs to me, everything is my hard-earned money, everything, I am the proprietor of everything. That mentality, if you are giving sacrifice, if you are doing for service, slowly that gets, and at least one starts to work for Krishna. That is second step. And one starts for work and again gets purified, become more serious in the service of the Lord and his abhyas, and becomes more serious in his perfectional state. He gets complete, his mind and this thing completely absorbed in Krishna. So these are the 4 stages actually. So it is like from down or upside down, you can say, but the stages are starting from down. 11th verse. At least do, even if you are not able to do for me, do some sacrifice. Matlab, as a normal human being, anybody, the minimum dharma is to do charity or to render something selflessly. If not for the Lord, at least इस दुनिया में कुछ तो selfless करो. Next is even in that selflessness, do it some portion of your selflessness towards Krishna, work for it. And the 10th one is become serious in his service. And this thing is the last one is like that. So Krishna completes this thing. So Arjun Sahib, is it okay? I complete it, or you have anything, Arjun? Okay. So this is what is the progressive stage what Krishna is talking about. So now we can understand. Although sometimes we may feel that everybody is coming in temple is only a devotee only. जो कुछ भी मंदिर आ रहा है सब भक्ति है. ऐसा नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं है. Everybody is at different levels. At least they are getting connected to Krishna. That is good. Now, next verse is very interesting verse. And this verse is like one of the mind twisting also at the same time. It's like sometimes people get bewildered also. These are some of the verses in Gita. So if you have heard your first 6 chapters very nicely, if you understood those 6 chapters nicely, you will be able to catch this progression. Otherwise, it will be tough. So try as much as possible if you can catch it. And now what Krishna said, it appears like, kya bol rahe? He's speaking completely gadbad philosophy bol diya Bhagavan ne. It appears to be like, see, hear it now. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma phala tyagat shantir anantaram. Okay. Yeah. Arjun sir, so you can read.
Yeah, translation. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind.
See this abhyasa, where is this abhyas we have seen? Anybody remembers? What is that abhyas? Tenth sloka, abhyas yoga. That is what it is. Bhakti, right? Abhyas yoga is bhakti. So jnana abhyasa. ये नहीं कर सके तो क्या करो? ज्ञान कर लो. What do you think? Is it okay? Okay, jnana dhyanat vishishyate. That we have heard. ज्ञान से भी ध्यान, that is also okay. अच्छा, ध्यान नहीं कर सके तो क्या करो? कर्म फल त्याग करो. Is that also okay? मतलब क्या है? ध्यान योग नहीं कर पाते, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, कर्म त्याग करके बैठो. Is that was the sequence we saw in, see, first and third line completely it goes bouncer, means it goes ulta, totally ulta, is it not? Second appears to be okay. ज्ञान के बाद ध्यान आता है तो ठीक है, ज्ञान नहीं तो उसके ऊपर ध्यान करो. You are getting this point? मतलब क्या बोल रहे हैं सर? What has been so, sorry, I am going Hindi today. I don't know why. More, if you cannot do abhyas, then you do jnana. And okay, jnana means dhyan. And if you cannot do dhyan, do karma. That is good, and that will give you shanti. What do you think? Abhyas is okay? If somebody is okay with this verse, you can help me to understand. This verse has been explained by different acharyas. This how, but Krishna is saying that how to resolve it. It's a very puzzling verse actually. Puzzling verse. So sorry, actually I prefer to use some to show something. I don't know how. I'm not, okay, you wanted to say something? Okay, Shrikar.
Proji, like third line, is it says like Nishkama Karma Yoga?
That is Niskam Karma Yoga. Okay.
So it's like always better than Jnana Yoga, no?
Is it? Is that what you have learned? Nishkam Karma is better than Jnana Yoga.
Karma.
In between Nishkam Karma Yoga and Jnana. Okay, I will go in the sequence. Like, what is the sequence of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga? How do you put them?
So Krishna says in like previous first 6 chapters, better than Karma Yoga is the Nishkam Karma Yoga. Better than Nishkam Karma. And it's very difficult to follow. So better than like Nishkam Karma Yoga is practically you can dedicate your fruits to Lord, and that can be considered as a like easy process than Dhyan Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. And you can directly jump to Bhakti Yoga by doing Nishkam
No,
Karma.
Bhakti Yoga jumping is always there only. It is sequence wise.
So,
Sequence wise,
but
you only told, no? If you go in the sequence wise.
But in Dhyan Yoga and Jnana Yoga, it's like very difficult.
That is okay. Difficulty is okay. But if you
Like,
see
to take
the
Bhakti
purity,
from Dhyan Yoga is also sometimes not possible. That is my
but you
understanding.
tell me, in purity of mind, purity of consciousness, which is higher? Dhyan or Karma Yoga?
And Dhyan Yoga and Ashtanga.
Then if somebody is saying ध्यान नहीं हो सकता है तो कर्म कर लो, is it a good this thing? And first what he is saying, भक्ति नहीं होता तो ज्ञान कर लो, better to do ज्ञान. So that's why it is. Yes, Sumit Prabhu.
Puji, like, but there should be a level of the student also, because if he cannot like take the bhakti process or gyan process, then he has to come down to go to that level, Puji.
Okay, good. You are coming closer. Okay.
Miss Krishna has said that 8th verse is highest, but as he is like coming like down like 9, 10, and then 11, and now he is on 12. So because person cannot give up the like their results of their work to Krishna, so then he is telling like, if you see like in first line that he is telling that if you cannot practice this, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. And then after that is telling that means you can meditate, and that also you cannot do, then you can renounce your fruits of actions. So that depends upon the person's. If person is not able to cultivate the knowledge, then he has to come bit down.
But at least your thought process is, you're almost very good. This thing. Yeah. Okay, I will. Yeah. BLN Shekhar, you want to add something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in 5th chapter, Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna that which is better, renunciation of work or work in devotional service. So Krishna says that work in devotional service is better. So here, renunciation of fruits of action, it may refer to work in devotional service.
No, it may not be. It may not
Renunciation
be
of
clear. It may be referring to. It is not. It is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Very clear. It's not maybe. Very clear. Okay, fine. Thank you. Good. All of you have. Sumitru was the closest. Okay. See. We use some writing pad. Anyway, if you can catch it, try it. See, okay. All of us have seen in the first initial chapters also. There is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is generally Nishkam Karma. So Nishkam Karma Yoga. So better than that is that we find that Jnana Yoga. I'm telling general sequence. There is much more. But this is Jnana. And then there is Dhyana. And then there is Dhyan Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga as well. Then it is Abhyas. Now what Krishna is saying is, it is here the better in the sense is, yes, as Sumit Prabhu said, better in the sense is, if you cannot do that, then better to do this. That is downwards actually. Better to do this, better to do this, better to do this. So that is the meaning of better here. So hopefully you're right. Now when he says, what you call, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa, what means? One cannot do abhyas yoga, or one doesn't have that faith on bhakti and all those things, then at least one is told that ठीक है, नहीं कर सकते, because Krishna is giving him, at least you've been some transcendental path, because we saw that there are two kinds of transcendentalists, either the impersonalists. Jnanis is usually impersonal, and the personalists. Let us say they don't have faith on form of Lord. People don't have that kind. ठीक है. Krishna is saying in the scriptures there is another aspect of it. That is what that jnana. Then at least practice jnana. At least practice jnana. Because jnanis don't have that faith on what you call the form of the Lord. And so the level is lower. So in that sense. Because for them, this is supreme. So at least then meditate upon that impersonal. Then at least though better you practice, better you be here then. Krishna is giving. Now, but when we saw among Dhyan and Dhyan is better. We find that. But here this Dhyan is not referring to the Dhyan yoga process. That one has to understand. So if you cannot do Dhyan, Krishna is telling Dhyan. What happens while one is practicing Dhyanam, perfection stage of the Dhyanam is he realizes Brahman. But before that, he does a practice, a sadhana in order to get that, achieve that platform. That dhyan. This dhyan is referring to a sadhana which one has to meditate. What is that meditation usually they do? I am not the body. I am not this. I am not this. I am a neti. I am Brahman. I am Brahman. I am Brahman. So this dhyanam, if you see in the sequence, is referring to the dhyanam. So if you cannot do abhyasa, means basically you cannot take to the process. But here ज्ञान नहीं होता, तो ज्ञान को अचीव करने के लिए ध्यान करो. That meditation you do. नहीं, मेरे से ध्यान भी नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि it requires purity of consciousness, purity of mind. Because jnana process, for the process of jnana, all of you have seen that for the process of jnana, the requirement is what? One's mind and consciousness has to be pure. That is a bare minimum. So that's why, but then, okay, that means what? Means one's mind is disturbed. One's, what do you call? So then we saw in your first 6 chapter, okay, you cannot do dhyan. Then at least do karma. Karma phala matlab, at least be on the platform of nishkam karma. Means continue with your senses, but do with at least detached. And once you realize, okay, theek hai, I don't have to engage, because as soon as engage, there is a cause of bondage, then don't engage. Then what is do? Then take to the process of jnana. In that jnana, first to do dhyana, and then do jnana. And by chance, if somebody gets the Krishna's hope, what do you call, mercy is that if somebody gets in touch of devotee, there is an opportunity, and as this thing, he will take to bhakti. That is how it is. That is how it is. Hopefully, all of you are getting it. Here, Shreyo does not mean that Jnana is better than this thing. Jnana is better in the sense, all the better words is used in this. If you cannot do Abhyas, do. If you cannot do Jnana, do Dhyana. Dhyana in the sense, take to the process so that you achieve perfection in Jnana. If you cannot do, at least be at the platform of Karma, Phala, Tyag. Do Nishkam Karma. See, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th are in one progress. And this is a complete different verse, which is telling about, भाई, but कोई व्यक्ति ना ही उसको ये faith है, ना ही कुछ है, तो उसका क्या? Okay, उसका at least ये progress में जाके कल उसका hope है. So that's how this verse is. So we'll try to see Prabhupada's purport. You'll find that. But Prabhupada does two things interestingly. He takes in one what do you call it, para of this verse, dhyan and dhyan, which is a natural sequence, and in one para he takes as the sequence, because when you say better than this, as Krishna is saying in the verse, he takes both the opinions, which is okay. So some of you may not even That's why I said those who understood first 6 chapters, they will be able to understand कि भाई निष्काम कर्म योग, ज्ञान योग, ध्यान योग, abhyas. Abhyas yoga means basically bhakti yoga. Usually that is the highest. So here Krishna is telling if you cannot do bhakti yoga in that sense, abhyas, then take to jnana. Ideally, there should be dhyana as per this thing. So take to jnana. In perfection of jnana, you cannot do. Then start the process of jnana by dhyana. That is the meaning. And if you cannot do this dhyana, at least do karma. At least you endeavor to utilize your senses, but in a detached mode, slowly that you become qualified for jnana. Because in general, Vedic path, in those things, somebody is not taking to bhakti. The natural process, what do people do in their grahastha? Like start doing nishkam. After that, they go to the jungle. Then what do? They do little more. Then usually the people used to take to the part of jnana. That's why you find that idea is very prevalent. What is that? क्या करना है उसके बाद सब छोड़ना उसके बाद क्या करना है कि that's why when we see in bhakti everything can be engaged थोड़ा टफ जाता है उन लोगों में आखिर दम तक नहीं आखिर दम तक you can engage in service but surely there should be aspect of detachment even in bhakti detaching ourselves from all other things engaging ourselves in everything in the service that's the biggest difference. So let's try to see Prabhupada here read Prabhupada's this thing very carefully otherwise you'll miss. Okay.
As mentioned in the previous verses, there are two kinds of devotional service. The way of regulative principles and the way of full attachment in love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, Prabhupada is coming. Now, what are these two referring to, first of all? The way of regulative principle is Prabhupada is referring to what?
Sadhana Bhakti.
Sadhana Bhakti or Abhyasa Yoga, correct. And the other way Prabhupada is talking about? The first one, Raganuga, the first one, very clear. Fully attached and love. That is very clear. He's just mentioning in the previous verses, yes, and now we know that, okay.
For those who are actually not able to follow the principles of Krishna consciousness, it is better to cultivate knowledge because by knowledge one can able to understand his real position.
Now, is it okay for those who are actually not able to follow the principles of where do we see this? Follow the principle means if he is not able to do abhyas. Is it clear? Abhyas. If he is not able to practice principles of Krishna consciousness means he is not able to. That's a shreyo gnanam abhyasat. Then better what? Cultivate knowledge. That's what Krishna, Prabhupada is putting into saying. Because what will that knowledge do? That gnana will do? It will tell your real position. Real position in the sense, at least it will tell you that you are not the body, you are the soul. Or you are Brahman in that sense. That is the meaning. At least you will come to know because those people also, they at least come to know, na, I am not of this world. I am not this body. So that is what by knowledge Prabhupada is saying. Now, see Prabhupada what is. Prabhupada read this also.
Gradually, knowledge will develop to the point of meditation. By meditation, one can be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, these lines are little different. Now you see that. Now you see that. Okay.
In the cultivation of knowledge, there are processes which make one understand that one himself is the Supreme. And that sort of meditation is preferred if one is unable to engage in devotional service.
See, this is that line I am talking. If in the cultivation of knowledge process, means in the cultivation of gnanam, that which makes one understand that one himself is the supreme. In the sense what they say, I am that Brahman. That's the meaning of understanding. Okay, that's why they meditate now. Then better start meditating. You are not reached understanding that you are that supreme Brahman. Or here Prabhupada uses what do you call supreme. That is referring to the Brahman. He is saying that if you are not Brahman, that start meditating upon it. So that is preferred. So that means what? Now we have come principles of Krishna. I am using in Prabhupada words, but how it is related in the verse. Principles of Krishna consciousness, abhyas. Cultivate knowledge, jnanam. Okay, how to do that jnana? Start meditating upon it. Dhyanam, that is better. And now, if one is not able to do that, do karma phala tyaga. Like that it is.
If one is not able to meditate in such a way, then there are prescribed duties as enjoined in the Vedic literature for the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, which we shall find in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But in all cases, one should give up the results of fruits of labor, This means to employ the results of karma for some good cause.
For a good cause. So that is what they're able to do. So if you go by Prabhupada's lines, it's referring to the same verse. Principle of Krishna consciousness, abhyas. Cultivate knowledge. Okay, jnanam. In order to cultivate that knowledge to its perfection, start meditating, understanding. And if you cannot do that, better. So better is in these terms. If you cannot do that, better is to do that. If you cannot do that, better is to do that. If you cannot do that, better at least you follow the Vedic path of in whichever varna and ashram you are there and performing your duties, but with a detachment. That is what it is. So that's what it is. And Prabhupada takes it. But anyway, Prabhupada gives very beautiful this thing. Here Prabhupada changes the flow little bit. Okay, please read this. So I'm just giving you because that's what Prabhupada is mentioning in both the verses. So whereas the previous mat which was previously written, it is Baldev Vidya Bhushan's mat, very clear. Now I will come to one more just because I have not completed the verse. The last verse, Tyagat Shanti Manantaram. What does it mean? Because when you do at least what you call detach yourself or give the fruits of your heart, there is at least peacefulness. There is at least Shanti. What is Shanti? Okay, at least I am sacrificing. At least I am doing good cause. Now, can anybody say, but one who's doing Abhyas Yoga or one who's doing Bhakti Yoga, what is that he gets? He gets Shanti. What does devotees get? Yes, Sumit Kumar.
Like how without the Shanti actually he is at that level.
No, in Bhakti, what we are looking for? Tell me that. Then you all will be able to understand. Yes, Deepak Prabhu.
Love,
Attachment for
love of
Krishna.
Krishna.
Huh?
Attachment for Krishna.
Attachment. What is that called?
Raga.
Okay, what is that
Praise.
called in its complete sense? Yes, Anil.
Krishna Prem.
Krishna Prem. So at least आपको शांति मिलेगी ये करोगे तो और लेकिन भक्ति करेगा तो प्रेम प्राप्त होगा. That is the difference. Getting इसलिए वो दो difference है इतना बड़ा. I took some time, taking more time in this verse because this verse otherwise many times it get confusion. So that is the math of this thing. Why? Because at least by doing karma phal, you will be satisfied. You will be at least having shanti. But मैंने कुछ तो किया है. Whereas by doing bhakti, you are looking for Krishna. You are looking for this thing. You are at prema. Abhyasat can take you to prema. Whereas by karma phala, at least one gets shanti. And then okay, then goes ahead. So that is the difference. That is the level of difference between the both. So now you see, Prabhupada just puts it in. This is for only this thing. Anyway, you will find one more interesting thing. Anyway, Krishna is not telling this thing for the devotees that you will find. Prabhupada mentions it. But this is for our understanding. Okay, Prabhupada, please kindly read this and that will make it clear.
In summary, to teach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the highest goal, there are two processes. One process is by gradual development and the other process is direct.
Prabhu, what is that gradual development of that process?
Yoga ladder.
And the other process direct is what?
Bhakti.
Exactly. So where is this gradual development has been said? In this verse that gradual development is talked about. Is that clear? And that will be indirect path also. Hopefully all of you are able to catch it. And the other path is direct, means directly devotional service. So Prabhupada is making it very clear. Okay. Next, please read it.
Devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and the other method involves renouncing the fruits of one's activities.
Yeah, this you have learned in your first six chapters. One has to renounce, because slowly he is bringing him onto the path. In the first 6 chapters. Or you will find many verses are only on word that get detached from your work, offer your fruits to there. Prabhupada writes Bhaktivedanta purports, that's why you will find always offer it directly to Krishna. But in that sense, offer it to somebody supreme or offer it to start. That is the meaning in general. You'll find it. Often, because he doesn't have very clarity about Krishna is the supreme personality of, but he knows that there is somebody supreme for whom I have to renounce my work or renounce my fruits of my labor. I cannot say that everything is in my control. So that is what. Okay. Then Prabhupada says that.
Then one can come to the stage of knowledge,
Yeah.
then to the
Jnana.
stage of meditation,
Yes.
then to the stage of understanding the super soul, and then to the stage of supreme personality of Godhead.
Yes. Okay.
One may take either this one may take either the step-by-step process or the direct path. The direct process is not possible for everyone. Therefore,
See, direct possible is not possible for everyone. Why is not possible? Simple. Because faith on Krishna is not there. Faith on path is not so. इसलिए what is the definition of our bhakti? श्रद्धा शब्द विश्वास करे सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कैले सर्व कर्म करता है. ये बहुत बड़ा लेवल है. बहुत बड़ा लेवल है. भक्ति का ये जो लेवल है बिगिनिंग स्टेज, दैट्स व्हाई फेथ व्हाट आर दैट 9 स्टेजेस ऑफ आवर भक्ति, शुद्ध भक्ति डायरेक्ट प्रोसेस, उसमें भी 9 स्टेजेस जाते हैं. हाउ? आदो श्रद्धा. कुछ भी नहीं है तो कृष्णा स्टरिंग नहीं है तो ऐसा धीरे 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 सीढ़ियां चढ़ो. देन यू विल अल्टीमेटली आल्सो अंडरस्टैंड आई एम ओनली देयर. बट एट दिस लेवल देयर आर पीपल हु कैन नॉट एक्सेप्ट. इट्स वेरी टफ फॉर देम. Okay. Why? Simple. They also see, na, he also having 2 hands. He also does humanly activities only. It's very tough for people to accept. Now, if we don't find, तो ये तो बहुत इतना easy हमको लगा. Easy why? Because we are practitioners. And all of you are practitioners more than 3-4 years. You have heard so much scriptures. But you just think and the glory of the parampara which has given that clarity, that very clarity that we could understand it. That faith that they have given us, that got very easily transferred to us. The way Prabhupada has written the purports, it gives us very quickly that faith. That is a beauty. लेकिन you ask outside people, अभी तक लोगों को are you what do you call, are you Brahman, are you Atma, जब people में क्या हूँ, उसमें ही लोग बड़े बड़े philosophy पढ़ने के बावजूद भी, there are religions existing where they still don't have idea about who you are. Don't get surprised, because sometimes we all devotees wonder, इसमें इतनी बड़ी क्या बात है, ऐसा लगता है. No, because we have not seen the outside world, how they are struggling to understand the spiritual substance. How many of them actually understand Krishna is the supreme personality of God? Oh, so not so easily. Otherwise, then why there are so many dharmas? Why there are so many paths? Why there are so many? It will remain because people are in different modes and people have different inclinations, and the living entity has come here to his own, to figure out his own ways and means to enjoy. So why will he look for Krishna? So that's what it is. So that, but Krishna is so merciful through the scriptures also. He is giving indirect path. ठीक है, ऐसे नहीं तो धीरे 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 आपको consciousness. Because now somebody to accept, अरे मेरा life I have to dedicate to this person and this is whole and soul and this thing. Not so easy. Okay.
yeah, the direct process is not possible for everyone. Therefore, the indirect process is also good. It is, however, to be understood that the indirect process is not recommended for Arjuna.
That is the reason it is not recommended for us also. Yes.
Because he is already at the stage of loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord.
And we are already on the path of loving devotional service of Abhyasa. That is the reason.
It is for others who are not at this stage. For them, the gradual process of renunciation, knowledge, meditation, and realization of the Supreme Super Soul and the Brahman should be followed. But as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, it is the direct method that is stressed. Everyone is advised to take to the direct method and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
See, that's what. But if you see the whole Bhagavad Gita's flow is not for it. This flow is for direct method. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam. And so many other verses that Krishna is taking. Take shelter of me. But Krishna is such a, you see, he will give that scope for other living entities. Because everybody cannot take it. That's why you will find always that thing visibly. That's sometimes devotees have, प्रभु direct एक ही चीज क्यों नहीं दिया, इतना क्यों देने का जरूरत? अरे, these all things will continue to exist always. You cannot argue with Krishna. Even from dawn of creation till the end of this thing, things will remain. Things will remain. Why? Because that is if Krishna is respecting the free will of the living entities and according to their choice, he's accommodating it. But the way he's accommodating is glorious. Slowly he's trying them through the indirect method to come because he wants to take that time. What to do? So like that. So that's why 10th, 11th verse, 12th, 10th verse, 8th verse, and 9th verse are in that progressive. And if somebody is not, at least this. So that's how this whole 12 verses are in that progression. Hopefully you all understood. Actually, my idea was to complete the whole chapter today. Complete it. But I didn't think it will take this time. So that's what it is. And after this, simple. After this, that thing is, so what to say? One. So after this is okay now because bhakti is defined as and the path also, the progressive path also, bhakti is. Now Krishna will talk about all that qualities that a pure devotee has or my devotees has, which is very dear to me. And for sadhakas, what are the pure qualities which please to Krishna that I have to endeavor to attain them or get them or cultivate them? So these verses from 13 to 20 which are going, that will be applied for the pure devotees, but for the sadhakas, it is to cultivate, and then every verse. And you will find the beauty of all these verses from 13 listing. Krishna uses this word, Sachame Priya, Same Priya, Ativa, and last verse is Ativa Me Priya. So all words he will use. But rarely you will find in Gita, he says Priya, Priya, these words in this Bhagavad Gita chapter 13 till 20, he will use this word. This is, you will find all these verses coming down. He says that Sacha me Priya, me Priya. He will use this either Sacha me Priya, me Priya, or and the last is Ativa me. That's what he uses. Such a bhakta is very dear to me. Such wonderful qualities he has. That pleases me a lot. Such a devotee. Last, he said that one who has all these wonderful qualities. It's very, very dear. Ativa, he uses the word Ativa means very. So that is the beauty of this chapter that is going to conclude. So we'll stop here and maybe in the next week I'll try to complete that section and then we can write. Okay. And now, yes, Arjun Sathik, we have some questions. Sorry, actually, I wanted to use the what you call board or something in order to make it clear. Now, 1 minute, because Arjun Sadhguru, I made him wait. So let me respect him by. Yes, Prabhu, you have anything, Prabhu? You still have it.
Yeah, so Prabhuji, throughout the Gita, we see many places, like even here also we see the lowest strung that Lord is saying is giving up all the fruits of your one's actions. So, but then superior to that is like the sadhana bhakti and then raganuga bhakti. But we sometimes find, those who are even in sadhana bhakti, like we ourselves, at least from my case, I would say, we haven't given up all the fruits of our own actions, right? So, and in the latter also we see that the bhakti yoga is still higher, and the nishkam karma yoga is at the very starting ladder.
Yes.
We ourselves don't find at that level actually. Nishkam karma, we are not doing it nishkam, we are still sakam. So how do we actually relate it and understand?
Yeah, but you are glorious because you have chosen the right path. And now you are not chosen. Have you chosen Nishkam Karma Yoga as a path in your life? You tell me that first.
No, certainly not.
Now, so have you achieved prema in bhakti? Do you believe Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Do you have that faith first? You tell me.
Yeah, that's it.
You have faith on the words of Prabhupada or the Guru Parampara that is coming into that. You are ready to commit for that throughout life.
Right.
Yeah, no problem. So for us, these are acting as anarthas or this thing in our path. That's it. So, but yes, it looks on, because if you see from attachments and this point of view, Prabhu, surely that will match with other paths also, because they are also in a progress. If somebody is having Nishkam Karma Yoga, but Nishkam Karma Yoga guy does not even know that Krishna is Supreme Personality, but he knows that only what I have to at least Nishkam. क्यों? So मेरे लिए नहीं है, तो at least थोड़ा सा attachment नहीं रहना चाहिए. किसके लिए? Oh, that is not there. But at least we have one thing I have to do for Krishna. Still, I am struggling with my attachments. That is. That's why our glory is we have come on the right path. Now struggle is to reach till Prem. Again, there is no question. Sometimes devotees also say that. Hey, some devotee is reading so much of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and so much scriptures he is reading. Prabhu, ye gyani hai. It's completely foolishness. One should never say. Jnani means what? What is his goal, first of all? Jnani means what? His goal is Brahman Rai Baba. Some devotee want to read Bhagavatam more, Bhagavad Gita more, and studying more of scriptures. Then why did our acharyas wrote so many scriptures? To read or to become a jnani? It's to read, to understand deeper and yes, on a management level, when somebody said in the name of reading this thing and want to avoid sevas for the Lord, which are also very important. That is between an authority and this thing. Just you don't keep on. I mean, you read, but when there are sevas, that is. Otherwise, higher absorption is what? You have to know more about Gita, more about Bhagavad. Why that absorption of hearing and then hearing and chanting has been glorified in our path? You tell me. And for that, one has to read, one has to study, but not at the cost of causing inconveniences to others by not rendering services in the name of saying that I want to. Okay, that is different. But somebody wants to study more scriptures, wants to have so much desire to hear, so much desire to hear, should not be curtailed. You have to glorify it. Wonderful, such a taste you have for hearing and reading. And never say that, Jnani. And somebody is working hard for this thing, bichare, some work hard is there, later still he does services for that. Prabhu, kyun karmi ki tarah? Arey, he's karmi. He is endeavoring, he is already in the path. That's why it's very, very, before even saying somebody, this devotee is karma yogi, this devotee, you should not even tell that words actually to devotees. It may sometimes if this is in a humor somebody uses or this thing, that is a different thing altogether. But yes, at least we should know precisely. A devotee may be struggling in his path. That's why Krishna is so much. If you see in the 9th chapter also, we saw that. You see, what is that? Even if my devotee does abominable, what does mean? His Shraddha is retained, Prabhu, there. You see the Shraddha. He has done abominable activities because of previous conditionings or all that. Shraddha. And Krishna is saying that accept him as sadhu because he's attached to me still. He's ready to take to my. He doesn't go to any others. That is the beauty of that personality. He will have that shame that I brought bad name to the devotees. I should not have done it, but what to do? I have done it. So what Krishna is Supreme Person. He does not change the process. He does not change the personality. Getting the path. So right. You as a Grahastha, you're so sincerely telling that you are not. Then what to speak of me? Even as a brahmachari, I can just because I wore this cloth doesn't mean that I'm renounced. I myself is struggling. Maybe sometimes glories are the Grahastha. Glories are the Grahasthas. To be frank with.
Then the whole 24 hours, any activities you do, it's
but what
direct Krishna consciousness, right?
That is there. But what is one doing with his internal senses? That matters a lot. That's why I told Krishna Chakravarti Thakur says, what is the internal sense? So I can be a brahmachari, but my meditation is sense gratification. What is the use of it? Somebody may be grahastha struggling for Krishna is far better progress. That's why in our path, actually to judge कौन कहाँ पे बोलना मुश्किल हो जाता है. Because internal state क्या है बोलना मुश्किल है. बहुत मुश्किल है. That's why we cannot, what do you call it? That's why you find in the qualities, as qualities are coming now, that you find that how devotees reciprocate and what on this part. So surely, Prabhu, is this clear to you? So no problem. Our struggle is happy, but we should be happy to struggle. We have family, we have this thing, we have responsibilities. Yes. But our faith on Krishna should not become down. And thinking that इतने सालों से कर रहा हूँ, कुछ नहीं रहा, थोड़ा दूसरा path check करके आता. So that thing is That means there is already what you call one's faith is not appropriate. One's faith is not. Yeah. Because even other paths, Prabhu, they have to have faith in their path in order to get the results. Please try to understand. But their faith should be on that demigod. Their faith to be that, yes, Brahman is highest, not Krishna. क्योंकि उनको भी चलने के लिए faith ही चाहिए. Now, what kind of faith we want to have, that's most important. And the path we are following is surely. That's why I said, if you have these basic things, Shraddha, Shraddha, Vishwasa, Shuddha, Nishchay, this is very big step. That is why reading of scriptures, taking association of great souls, and this thing helps to make our Shraddha drid. Yes, in whether it is difficulties, whether it is Sukha, whether it is Dukkha, whether anything comes in my life, but Krishna, I cannot leave. I will not leave this path. This is clear to you. So that is the biggest contrast that we have with other paths. And surrender to the ready to accept the shelter of the spiritual master and ready to. So biggest thing. So is that okay, Prabhu? There's no question of we comparing with it. Yes, but on an external set, on a social conventional, somebody may say that आप तो बहुत अच्छा क्या कहते हैं निष्काम कर रहे हो. ठीक है, somebody says, but we are on a path of Bhakti. That has to be very clearly rooted in us, and that has to be very clear. Is that okay, Prabhu? Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Aditya Tapalwari ordered. Prabhu, you wanted to ask me?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, before it was one question, now it's two. It's okay then.
No problem.
Yeah. So,
Anil, you will
Prabhu,
not cross Anil's house, Prabhu, anyways. He asks.
Sorry. No. So, Prabhu, like we got to learn these are different stages we have, and many times we see various different people for whom we try to preach and all. So, like they may be on different stages of faith and everything. Okay, but now for them, like if we wanted to have these verses in preaching point of view, so should we? Means we are trying our best to give, okay, but that person is not ready to take, okay, Krishna conscious philosophy, okay, so should we put them क्या थोप देना है या फिर we should be giving and all or not, this is the first thing, and like or should we tell him कि okay, you are on this level now, okay, at least you try to do that. So how should be our approach to them कि okay, if you are not ready to take, ठीक है, आपका लेवल ही वैसा है तो करो जो भी जितना आपको पॉसिबल हो रहा है. Should we have that, or should we giving pure devotional service only?
Good question. Best, if we can give, we should give pure devotional service only, even at the cost of pinching somebody's other faiths. That's okay. Why? But it will pay only, na? We all also got paid. I also got shocked when they said Krishna is people. So little pinch, because we are giving the right path, is okay. It's okay, no doubt. And we are giving right thing. What we are giving? We like, for example, even when we went recently to Ayodhya, what is that we did? We gave the straight thing. Krishna or Ram is the supreme personality of God. Harinam, Prasadam of the Lord. This time. Now, whoever is ready for discussion, we discuss with them. Not, then at least we gave in the form, because people are at different level. Everybody may not be able to hear philosophy. So we give them according to their levels, whatever is favorable with their path. But when it comes to preaching, surely, right? That's why Radheshyam also said, no, search for what? Those who are interested, not to create interest in them. And we should also understand. From this also you are understanding, right? Krishna is also knows that what he called, if you cannot do that, do this. If you cannot do that, this. Like if you find somebody is more favorable for, okay, मैं हफ्ते में एक बार आऊँगा या फिर इतना ही कर पाऊँगा, we should be able to accept their level also. We should be broad in. Somebody is in complete ignorance to completely sleeping, little pinching is okay, nothing wrong. But don't pinch in such that he becomes disgusted with you. That is what it means. There is a limit Where to limit at the individual levels, and in your youth preaching or in your congregation preaching, or when we are preaching to outside people, somebody is arguing too much and you know that he will not able to take it. So you should not go on arguing in such a way that I will prove to you only. Then your behavior matters. How do you? Can you just, then at least you should think he is not ready to hear. Let me add Agyata Sukriti in his life by giving us. At least Pat appreciates him something, whatever he has said. So you know he is not. And Prabhupada is also saying, right, everybody will not be able to take it. But there will be sufficient people who will be able to take it. So one simple thing, we should give direct. People are able to take, they will surely come. Those who are not able to take, give them at least Agyasu. That's why in our preaching, what do you do? You have touched boys when you are preaching in your college. When you do your one-time program, you touch 300. But we give prasadam. We know everybody will not be there. But why do we give prasad? You know, the reason is at least उनके जीवन में अज्ञात सुकृति यहाँ नहीं तो कहीं और आए. Somebody comes till further camps. We give, feed them prasad and all. Somebody becomes inside seriousness, then we don't tell those who comes inside seriousness. हाँ प्रभु आपका अभी भी conception वही है क्या? चलेगा प्रभु आप. Oh, somebody was come inside close, then we have to we have to tell them much more and try to put them now on the track. They are on the track. Now when they are on the track, we have to take them, push them. And that may appear a little bit, what you call this thing, but we are giving him, we have given you that investments and all that thing is also there. Right? There is a difference. But outside people, general, we start with giving them pure and according to the level of people. Because I also seen many people don't take. There are some people who have come over a period of time. I said one boy, he will comes once in a while. आएंगे प्रभु जी कैसे हो? प्रभु जी मैं मंदिर आ जाऊं? I said आ जाओ. और प्रभु, he tells all his activities what he does outside. I hear. I give him prasad. He chants how many rounds? He said few rounds. You are okay with it? Now one time one boy and girl came. I came to know they have, they live in, he came first. So I spoke to him very nicely. I gave prasad. After some time he said, this is my classmate. So he's a very good. But we stayed together. We stayed together. So I was like, what to do? We stayed together. कहाँ रहते? बोला साथ में ही रहते हैं. So I understood that living culture वाले हैं, advanced culture वाले हैं, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. So one thing was I had an option is, hey, मैं living culture वालों से बात नहीं करता. तुम लोग क्या क्या करते हो? मेरे को suddenly another option is that, see, he has come. Let me give prasad. I call only to him only for festivals and only this thing. Give some Prabhupada. He himself will read and understand. Or if he has developed relationship with me strongly and over a period of time. One brahmachari also had same kind of two people coming. Over a period of time, he became very attached to this. At one point, that brahmachari sincerely told, if you want to, please guide me and this thing. One thing you have to take care. You have read Prabhupada books. You have read this thing. So please, either you get married to that Mataji. That is my humble request. And then I can try to connect you to some grahastha. Otherwise, no grahastha will also take you. Where will they guide you? How will they guide you? So, and it doesn't befit for a brahmachari for me also to guide this category. But still, so he sincerely expressed over a period, but at a certain point. I'm just giving you some examples for you to understand. Similarly, in our preaching, we have to surely figure out interested boys and take them back. And after they become serious and come inside the voice is a training program. Those who are connected strongly, those are in the Abhyasa Yoga means training program. And there will be some purification because one is becoming serious. And from there, we want to take them to, what do you call, to the level of prema, right? They have to achieve prema. But those who are not of that level, others, we can be a little more broad, we can be more merciful and those. Of course, I'm not telling that those who are in serious, then you torture them. What I mean to say is those who are serious, yes, they have to be shown path ahead, but not telling them कि हाँ प्रभु अभी आपसे 16 माला नहीं हो सकता है ना. अच्छा आपने दीक्षा लिया था 16 नहीं हो पा रहा, ठीक है 8 कर लो. That is okay to say to such a devotee or to some boy who's like having so much tough time, but at the same time he says so many reasons that ठीक है ये नहीं होता तो. Just to keep him calm so that he at least continues the path, which is better. Think about it. तो सीरियस है उसको नीचे, इसलिए yesterday I was telling, जो सीरियस है उसको नीचे नहीं जाना चाहिए. Even Just in the, I will work only for Krishna. Even you don't take them down, take them higher. But how to take progressive, even on the, what do you call, somebody's practicing, that's why we have counselor system, so that he connects to the person whom he's ready to hear, to the guru whom he's ready to incline. So all those things we have to, and there is so much freedom in Pune at least. Okay, you can change counselor, you can change this thing, you can check with many people, and you can do. But progressive के लिए जो favorable चलते हैं वो लो आगे. But nobody should try to come out of. Is it clear? This is the broad thing which I felt, and which what I have seen, and in general, whatever I try to apply little bit. There may be different ways, but sure, Prabhu, because we have very less time in Kali Yuga and something. That's why nothing you can give to people, just give the holy. Well, ठीक है, at least भगवान का नाम लो, ये आपने कीजिए. This is the greatest gift you have. What did Prabhupada give you? Tell me the initial stages. Prabhupada keep on sorting out all these things. क्या क्या है? Just give the holy name. Just give the holy name. Best gift you can give to people, two things, which everybody will accept. नाम लो बोले, मुंह से नाम लेने में क्या जाता है? कोई कुछ नहीं. Right? And you see, one of our style of preaching in temple, very good. I like it. So they come people, उनको बोलते हैं एक माला कर. जीवन का उनका आपने उनका spiritual life start कर दिया. एक माला करके चला जाता है. उसके बाद हमेशा देखो, today 200 visitors came and chanted one round of Hare Krishna mantra. Two of them committed to challenge. बहुत बड़ा achievement है. हम लोग अपने वॉइस में देखो ना, संकल्प स्फूर्ति वो करने के बाद भी वो करने को होता नहीं है. Here in temple he has come. That means already he has come with temple some faith. वो उसमें थोड़ा माला घुमाने में देते तो थोड़े नहीं हुआ तो जिन्होंने नहीं लिया, एटलीस्ट उन्होंने एक माला किया. That will add to. Another thing is prasad. Prabhupada is ambassador of Krishna Prasad for all of us from the spiritual world. Prasad, can anybody say no? Even though we have in a commercialized ways Govindas, and still that is also good. Some prasad is going. So we are adding by all these other means. And all these people, those who have become serious, we all also, somebody has added in our lives at different stages or in our previous lives. That's why our faith is so strong or ready to take to Krishna so easily in this life. नहीं तो नहीं होता है, नहीं होता. और that too, accepting Krishna, Supreme Personality of God. Because we stay over a period of time among devotees, हमको लगता है कि भगवान है बोल के समझने में टाइम नहीं. But if you see the broad culture, not so easy. So yes, Prabhu. Then accordingly we have to act according to time, place, circumstances, people of different natures, different cultures. Act accordingly. But Prabhupada was straight while giving. But you should. But the endeavor is to give straight, has to be there. क्योंकि क्या पता pick up कर ले. नहीं किया तो at least you can sense it. What is the speed? नहीं हुआ, then you go by slow. Slow means so it will take time. So we should apply both. That's what I will recommend. Apply both. ठीक है. जैसे even our preaching, youth preaching में हम देखो, जो बच्चे छूट जाते हैं उनको क्या बोलते हैं? आते रहो. At least आते रहो voice में. Because now because we don't have capacity to take care of them. Those who have come inside, we are supposed to give more time, care, because he's becoming serious in Krishna's service, right? Surely, right? Investing upon them is more profitable, right? Profitable in the sense he will become devotee and he will do so much for Prabhupada's seva. That is very advantageous. And those who are anyway coming, because anyway, if you pull him more, he is not going to come. Then better we give him only the freedom. You keep on coming. Or once in a while, we call them and invite for festivals. And whatever is good, we should be happy. And we should understand that it will take time for him and we can pray for him. Pray for him, tell him to at least chant one round and give him prasad. And keep on inviting. At least have a good relationship. And I've seen many people, even after some few years, even in voice boys, I'm telling, particularly voice boys, and that to matter any people. Sometimes voice boys, because of their own complications, home situations, they are not able to take to Krishna. But because your attitude, your behavior, your things has been very nicely to him, he takes that thing very seriously after his final year or after he gets a job. What? Because when he was in voice, the job was troubling him like anything. He was not able to take it. Because everybody cannot. Later, when he got the job, and even in our own voice, many of the boys have come after their final year and got connected and got initiated. Initiated, and those were regular ones. You're getting the point. Sorry, I'm going on length to answer the broad one. So that's what it is. So we have to be both direct and broad also, according to time, place, circumstances, according to people. That's what I will say. And that lies upon one's own maturity. How you find, right? and how the great souls deal with how His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. How you find he is connected to different people, and many people are connected right from presidents or prime ministers, even with Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. His Holiness, what do you call it? Shivaram Swami Maharaj. So many of them connect. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, we'll have one more meeting next week where we'll see the wonderful qualities of devotees that I need to develop, and we all have to. That will be. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Next question, number 2.